Hey there, welcome back to Embracing Aloha. And today I have the honor and the privilege of interviewing Miss Stephanie from Mia's Bake Shop and Tea Room.
Thank you. Yes.
You're welcome. So I want you to tell the audience a little bit about yourself.
Okay.
Introduce you.
All right, no problem. And while we do that, we'll pour a little tea.
Sounds like a plan.
So we can have a little something to sip on.
And what are we having today?
We are having a flowering tea.
It's trying to flower on it.
Yes.
Right
that
now.
is, yes, we'll take the lid off. We actually just had a tea party. And so we tested this for the young ladies and they loved it because it literally blooms inside. So this is a new tea that we've tried. It's not something we'll carry on a regular basis.
So it's a specialty tea.
It is a specialty tea.
All right.
Cheers. Mm-hmm.
This is exciting.
Yes. So my name is Stephanie McCoy, and I am part owner of Mia's Bake Shop and Tea Room. I'm the business side of it. My wonderful business partner is the brilliant baker, and really the inspiration behind our tea shop. And we got started, well, we were friends, for years. We taught at the local high school together and just hit it off from day one. To the point that some days we showed up in almost the same outfit and people were like, y'all planned this? We're like, no, actually we didn't. Both love to craft. We love all things kind of housewares, and she just happens to bake. I don't bake quite as much, but I did teach the business classes. So I taught finance and marketing. So when she decided she wanted to open her own bakery, she said, I want you to help me. And I said, absolutely, because I knew she had a beautiful and tasty product. She's been baking out of her home for years, had quite the astute cupcake business that kind of rolled into a biscuit business. And so we've just taken those two things and everything else she loves and bakes and that I love to take pictures of and market and do all the things. And we've got quite the neat little business model here. It's been very, very good.
Yeah,
very good.
Absolutely. And the biscuits.
Yes.
The sweet potato biscuits are what everybody is usually like trying to come here and get.
It's our signature biscuit. It is, and it's what brings everybody in. It's a sweet potato and country ham biscuit. At the recommendation of one of our customers, our second week, he comes in and he says, you need to put sausage, egg, and cheese on that sweet potato biscuit.
Really?
And it's delicious. And we carry it only 2 days a week. We carry it Friday and Saturday. And the folks ask about it. That's Niecy right there. That's her leaving. She's not a camera person. That's why you got just me. I force her to get on camera.
But sometimes it works.
It
like
does.
In like little moments like this right
yes,
here.
It does. It works.
She's leaving. This is the master baker.
Yes, right here. And the back of her car, she just got a plate. I love it. It says OBX Mia's on her license plate. It makes me so happy. So it's been good.
Yeah. So you explained, the two of you in your relationship and how this started. And I didn't realize that it was a cupcake business first.
It was. And it was called Niecy's Baby Cakes.
Really?
Yes. And her logo was a little cupcake with arms and legs on it.
That's adorable. Mm-hmm. That is so cute.
Yes, so cute. And she makes a mean cupcake, any flavor you can think of. Then it evolved into biscuits because, downtown Manteo has a wonderful market in the fall. So summer and fall, we have a great market.
We got her again.
Yeah, we did. She's taking down. Yeah. She wants to make sure I take that down. They have a market and they were trying to get somebody to bring biscuits. And they had somebody that says, oh, yes, we'll bring biscuits to sell. It's a Saturday morning market. It's award-winning, actually, for the state. And the person didn't agree to it. And they approached Niecy to see if she could make biscuits. And she said, sure, I'll give it an attempt. And they were selling out every Saturday.
And you still sell out.
And we still sell out.
Every Saturday.
And so she really just started making those biscuits last summer.
Wow. She's really talented.
She is. Really I call
talented.
her I call her the mistress of flavors because she does a wonderful job of just pairing flavors and they just are dynamic. It's rarely overwhelming. It's just this subtle, just exactly what it should be for whatever she makes. It's wonderful.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, and that's easy to market.
It is.
It's easy to market.
It really is.
It markets itself, really.
Yes, it does.
Taste buds, right?
That's true.
So what brought you to, you kind of explained that already, like what brought you to this when you actually opened the business and the shop. So, you guys started working together. You were already working together and you thought, hey, this would be a great idea. So
we did. When she said, let's see if we can open a shop. And we'd always talked about doing some sort of business together. At one point, we were talking about maybe some events because we both kind of like to put on events. We had the cutest little tea party earlier today. We've done a tea with the Queen, which you attended.
I did. It was a lot of fun.
It was, and it was quite the event.
It was.
So we both enjoy that. So we thought, well, maybe we could do some events and possibly include some catering, because while I don't like to bake, I can cook. And she definitely can cook too. So anyway, this just folded into the bakery worked because there's not a bakery in downtown Manteo.
Okay.
And so, which from a business side of it is a no-brainer. So when she said, let's get this bakery open, I said, all right, we'll start looking for some places. The space that we are in was formerly a clothing boutique, and a clothing boutique that I frequented quite often. And so I came in to shop and noticed that the inventory seemed like it was a little bit different. And I said to Nisi, I was like, listen, I'm pretty sure that something's going on there. And if something is going on, that would be perfect location. Perfect location. I have always loved this space. And so, I mean, I remember the two things that were here before. And so she made a call to see what we could find out. And they were like, no, it's not opening up, but the apartment above is. Maybe that's, the case. And then she said, nope, it's not opening up. I said, just wait. Trust me. I said, trust me.
I
can feel it in my gut.
Yeah.
I said, and sure enough, we got a call back that it was opening up. So we signed our lease on January 1st of this year.
Wow.
Yeah. It was a nice way to start the year.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
It's like your New Year's resolution and all the new things coming at once. And it's just been growing since.
It has.
Or was it already an explosion? Because
well, people were waiting. They were ready. And when we started, so they had to take a little bit of a hiatus because she was baking from home before we started. So once we signed the lease and we reached out to the town of Manteo and we reached out to the health department so that we can make sure that we made the right steps, to open it properly, she kind of stopped baking, from home with those orders just because technically we had a commercial space. It wasn't ready yet. But we just wanted to make sure that with our new image that we didn't do anything that was just out of line. And so people had to wait to get it again. And it was pretty nice. I mean, to watch people, I say nice from a business standpoint, because at one point, once we really got going in here and started painting, we put up brown paper to the windows. And it drove them nuts.
Oh my goodness.
So they couldn't see what was happening.
Anticipation.
We did. As soon as we really started shifting it, we put up the paper to the windows, and boy, that was a nice move because people were, everybody wants to see what's behind, paper.
Make sure you're in this.
Yes. What's behind paper. So it really did work out. It worked out nicely, but it took us from signing our lease January 1st to opening was like May 13th or 14th.
Okay, so there was a good amount of time in between. Okay.
Yeah, we had to fully outfit what was formerly a fitting room into a commercial kitchen. And so
that takes some time.
That takes some time. It does. And thank goodness her husband and brother are very, very handy. And I mean, they did the majority of our work. We had to have a professional plumber and a professional electrician for the permitting. But as far as anything we did with our countertop space and even our sign hanging outside, her brother made that sign.
Really? That's incredible.
Her brother made that sign. So it really has been, we love to say, a family effort. It has been a huge family effort. We were all in here together, making sure we got Mia's open.
And it has that family feel.
Yes.
So whenever you visit, it is absolutely amazing. And then what I've noticed is that every time I've come in, even when she didn't know me, when you guys didn't know me, you walk in and you feel like you're a part of the family. So I think that family feel and you guys all building it together like that is really, it's in the structure. It's in the business, in the walls.
It is. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
I agree.
So, so we know what brought you to this. But we all know that, like, with business of anything, that there's got to be like this driving force of why, you know, what is the reason, the purpose, the passion behind it?
we have, both of us have a why that kind of runs together. So our whys are separate, but they're all centered. It's centered around the same thing. And that would be Mia, how we named it. Mia was Nisi's daughter, and she passed away last May. And I was not here. I was living in another state at the time, and I could not be here for my friend. And so when I decided I was moving back, she said, okay, good. It's time for you to come back. You know, we've missed you. And she said, I want you to help me open up this bakery. So for me, my why has been, this helps Nisi have a something else to do, a purpose, and a way to move through her grief, or at least I think. So my why is to make sure that Nisi can process what is an unbelievable time in her life. And she lost her mother 8 months later.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. We lost her mom in January of this year. And so we're talking double grief.
Mm-hmm.
And we've got this talent. And so when Nisi wants to bake, Nisi bakes. So my why is to make sure that she can bake whatever she wants when she wants to bake it, that the kitchen is stocked, and that there's people in the seats out here. And I can't speak directly to her why, but I know that it being named after her daughter, and it took us forever to figure out what to name it. Forever. But she said one day, we were somewhere, I don't know where we'd been, probably picking up some china. And she says, you know, I just miss saying her name. Mm-hmm. And I just looked at her and I said, well, I think it's pretty easy what we should name the shop. I said, if you can handle having to tell the story and not have the little closed throat that I'm feeling right now,
right,
daily, and, you know, go through that. I said, I think it makes sense. I said, we can name it and it will honor her. Mm-hmm. And it's a sweet name. Mia's Bake Shop and Tea Room. Like,
it's the perfect,
it's
the perfect name.
It is. It's name. 3 letters, Mia's OBX. Like, so we really, really have a purposeful why that to keep us going, because this is not just a representation of ourselves. This is in memory of somebody who was just wonderful. And Mia's friends pop through, family comes through, and so we have a picture of her up in the shop. So it is, I think, a good way to continue her memory.
Absolutely. Yeah. So it sounds like the why is really about love. Mm-hmm. You know, when you are processing any type of grief or any moments that you have in your life, and you can create something that is beautiful, and that you can share that, you know.
Yes.
And I think that sometimes, you know, we think that sharing something would be like art or poetry, mm-hmm. but I think that it's beautiful that it's food.
Oh, absolutely.
Because then it, you know, it just really transcends so mm-hmm. much, because people are coming in here for the experience, for the ambiance. So if you come in, I'm going to take some more video of the shop, and we'll have to talk about that piece that yes. you guys have that's over there. That's absolutely exquisite. It's just an amazing feel. The bathroom has its own thing. Yes. Like, you have to actually walk into the bathroom yes. and there are flowers everywhere. So the experience of just being in the building is beautiful, but then the why behind it, the love behind mm-hmm. the baking, and the purpose.
Yes.
You know, so you love her so much that you want to make that happen. So it's yes. just, that is beautiful. It's truly beautiful. And that's most of the reason I wanted to tell the story. It started yes. with the ham biscuits. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, I know, right? They are so good.
They are so good.
They are. Like, it was a no-brainer for me. You want to open a bakery? Absolutely. Because if we all we sell is biscuits and cupcakes, we'll still be fine.
Absolutely.
So it was just in that alone. But I tell people all the time, they're like, oh my gosh, it's so delicious. The food is so good. And I said, this is going to sound really cliche, but it's true. It's made with love. It's just good food that's made with love, and presented well. And it is just very, very back to basics in the thought. Nothing that's too complicated. You know, she wants to do something that's super complicated, fine. But the base of most of our recipes are flour, butter, and sugar.
Right.
I mean, which doesn't get more southern than that.
That's true.
More basic. I mean, that's how they made food long ago. That was always a staple in the pantry. So we basically take those 3 ingredients and just go to work.
Yeah, absolutely. And I have tried your hash brown casserole,
mm-hmm.
and
yes.
that is good.
Yes.
So I know that
now that one I actually make. Yes,
she does. She does a nice job.
But again, a family recipe. My mom makes it, and then I started making it, and it's every holiday or every big family event. we have hash brown casserole. So we brought that in. And I was like, Nisi, I think we should try hash brown casserole. She was like, oh, that's a good idea. And I was like, I've got a recipe. I can make it. And she's like, okay, go for it. So we have it. She tastes it and she looks at me. And we didn't start it until this month. September really is our first month carrying it all the time. And she said, we could have sold this in spades all summer long. And I was like, no, I wasn't ready to have to make something else.
That's true. I mean, she is the marketing genius behind everything for sure. And it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she even had, I'm not sure if you guys can see her little earrings, but they are absolutely adorable. They're little teacups.
Yes.
They're so cute.
Yeah. There's a whole feeling here.
There really is. And you mentioned that there was a birthday party today, and I was a part of the tea party with the Queen. Can you tell us more about like those instances and what other events you've done?
Yes, absolutely. So tea with the Queen probably is our biggest event that we've done because we sold actual tickets, and we even had tickets to be seated with the Queen, which of course Melissa was smart and was like, give me one of those.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so we ended up with 20, including the Queen. We seat 16 normally, but we have tables and chairs that we can bring out. And so those tickets sold out well before, 2 weeks before the event, and they sold out in 2 weeks is what I'm getting to. We advertised them a month before the event, and they were sold out within 2 weeks. And that was full tea service, meaning we brought the tea carts out. We brought out the tiered trays. Yes, everybody was served off of china. Of course, if you sit down, even if you come in for a biscuit and a cup of coffee, if you sit down, we serve you on china. So everybody eats on china here, which is a completely different feel. There's people that have come in and sat down and they're like, I haven't eaten off china in 10 or 15 years, or I haven't eaten off china since I was at my grandma's house. Right. Or I used to have tea with my grandmother. So it's so nostalgic. It brings back so many emotions and good memories for people here, which I love. But tea with the Queen was big because we had one of the former queens from the Lost Colony, Barbara Hurd, came in for a biscuit one morning, and Nisi pops out of the kitchen and says, oh, that's Barbara Hurd. She's one of the former queens. And I was like, what? That was like, brain immediately like, oh, we need to have a tea with the Queen. So would you be willing to do tea with the Queen? And she was like, well, yes. And so we sat down, talked through some details, worked it out, sold the tickets. They sold out. She comes in full regalia, and that was actually one of her pared down costumes. Yes, that was.
And it was exquisite. It was absolutely beautiful, and I will post more of those pictures.
Yes, it was gorgeous. So we encouraged everybody to come in high tea attire. So they didn't have to come in period dress, but definitely in a dress. If you were a female, and if you were a male, then definitely something that
we had one with a bow tie,
with a bow tie and seersucker. Yes, and seersucker. And so we really feel like that type of event has elevated just our little street here in Manteo. It's brought something different. But then on a kind of a smaller scale, we have tea parties for little girls or grown women. You can book after hours, or we will happily reserve a space and do a tea service during hours. And with that, we just call it our a la carte. So they can pull things out of the case. The case is over here, and we will still put it on the trays, the tiered trays.
Oh, that's right.
We will, and we bring it out to them.
And I remember, so there is a whole way to eat off of the tier as well, because the Queen gave us all instructions.
Yes. Oh, yes. You were at the best table, for sure.
I was seriously at the best table.
Yes.
So it's the eating off of the china, drinking, the tea, and it gives it that specialty.
It does.
And it really puts people in the moment.
Absolutely.
And, and it brings us back to what we talked about, that heart.
Yes.
And being in the moment and enjoying that with, people that you don't know, or people that you do know, people that you love. And it seems that everybody that comes in here, honestly, is a part of the family.
Yes. Oh, yes. Well, in many ways, I mean, after a while, we've got a couple that comes from Ohio. They've been here 2 or 3 times. And they'll come for the majority of their stay. They come for breakfast every morning that they are here. And cool. Yes, we know them by first name. Anyway, they trust us so much that they had a birthday cake the last time, and they just said, surprise us. And so Nisi got to bake whatever she wanted.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yes, and it was great. It turned out we did a maple cake, and he had a fit. He was like, how could you all know that maple is one of my favorite flavors? We didn't, but we're glad you love it. And so it's very much a family feel. Somebody likened us to Cheers, except for we're not a bar. We're a tea room.
That's not a bad thing, right?
Oh yeah, we loved it.
There's enough wine bistros and things like that around here, so a bake shop with some delectable goodies is a good thing.
We think so
for sure. And that's just it. Is like I said, the first time I ever came in, and it just felt like I'd been here before. So it is.
That's the goal.
That is it's a great goal to have.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you want to share to inspire or encourage other entrepreneurs, other people that want to do what they love and share it with the world?
Oh, absolutely. That's a great question. And I thought on it some, but I just had something completely pop differently in my head. Do not be afraid to push forward with something that maybe wasn't your dream to begin with. Because I told people at the beginning, they were like, "Oh, Stephanie, we didn't know you wanted to open a bakery." I said, "I didn't know either until Nisi told me." But here we are, and I'm loving it. So your dream may shift a little bit. I always viewed myself as an entrepreneur and having a brick and mortar space in particular. And I just didn't know that it was going to be a bakery and a tea room that brings me joy every time I come into it. And so I will say, don't box yourself in. Absolutely dream, but if the dream shifts a little bit, go for it. It is worth it. And sometimes you have to step completely out of your comfort zone to find something that's really, really, really good.
That's true.
Really good. Yeah. And needed. And I will say this too. Pay attention to what is needed and not what you want.
Ooh, that's good. That's really good.
The reason why this was very simple for the both of us was she knew there was a need with the biscuits in particular. And then when we started talking about it and realized there was no breakfast in downtown Manteo, and on Sunday, nothing's open. But right now, there's no breakfast in downtown Manteo. And so when I started looking at that from a business model standpoint, and we started talking about it, that shifted into us really being a breakfast focus. So, I mean, we're open 7:30 to 12 because that's when the need is.
And then sometimes they have to close because they
we do. We close a lot of days by 11. And really because what that is people are done with their breakfast by 10:30, 11 o'clock, and that's the industry standard. And so what we have from that time point from 11 to 12 is just people kind of trickling in, and they may grab a cupcake here, maybe a cup of tea. But I will say you really need to pay attention to where the need is and maybe not what you want.
That's good. That's good advice.
Thank you.
That's excellent advice. Well, is there anything else that you would like to share that we didn't talk about?
No. I mean, I really think
I think that you summed everything up really nicely. And
thank you.
And now we're going to actually enjoy our tea together. So thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.